This is going to dent in the world for sure when you say AI religion. I don't think there are some political parties that'll be happy with this.
Since it's trained on so many religion, it will tell you an answer which is near to the truth, direct indication towards the truth. So with time, it will develop itself in a way that it talks to you.
Won't Hinduism show up more because of just sheer volume of content in this AI search? Does it take any bias into it? For example, I'm a practicing Hindu, but say a problem that I'm asking for, there is a very direct answer for it from the Quran. Will it pick up from the Quran and give me that direct answer?
Hey guys, namaste, adab, sat sri akal. You know why I'm starting it this way today is because this one is a very, very special episode. This one is an announcement episode of religion.ai, which is
The world's first AI religion.
the world's first AI religion. And we've got a very special guest with us
I like
today.
to believe that.
Because he was one of the few people who got really excited when he heard this, that we are launching the world's first AI religion. And we hope you guys are all going to be super excited. Actually, he was one of the first few people who got excited because he was one of the first few people who saw it and was exposed to it. It's called religion.ai. And we've basically trained this AI on 5,000 religious texts. So any question you answer will give you multiple perspectives from multiple religions. And this is therefore the world's first AI religion. It's super exciting and very interesting because any question you ask it, you will get multiple viewpoints. And it's actually a great place to start.
Another unique point about this platform is it doesn't give you a very general gyan. Like if I have a problem, it finds and it tells you an answer from the scriptures that's very specific. It's not broad. So it reduces that time and it's more personalized to your answering. It's like having your own Krishna. You can be Arjun every hour.
Yeah, or your own Jesus Christ or your own Allah. So it's great also because of that, and it's kind of, you know, and if you feel you want to add a dimension from another world's religion, one of the other religions of the world, you could ask it saying, you know, tell me the same answer from this perspective.
Sounds like a Beatles song. You would have combined all the best parts of one. I mean, I feel very happy that I got exposed to this. I wanted to chat with you all because, as you all know, I have a lot of opinions and a lot of questions and thoughts. And I felt like I could ask you all these questions and you all could answer them for me and answer them for everybody else. Because I'm sure you all are going to get a lot of questions when you announce a new religion.
Yeah, it's the world's first AI religion.
It's headline grabbing. I mean, I'm sure people are going to be interested to hear what that's about. I mean, let me ask. I have too many questions. I'm sorry if I go all over the place. Bring me back. You are saying you'll have created a, let's say, repository for a new religion where the new age person can come and spiritually immerse themselves, I guess. But how in today's like clutter, like, you know, what you said, a lot of stuff you said was damn interesting. You spoke about the different scripts, different religions. How are you going to know today for me what appeals the most? Is it because most religions say the same thing?
No.
So how will it work is, let's say you ask a question, right? And since it's trained on so many religion, it will tell you an answer which is near to the truth. And mostly people like truth, right? That can be one way, the direct indication towards the truth. Like that's the answer. Other way, since it's AI generated, it will start understanding with time how you respond well, what grabs your attention, what words you like. So with time, it will develop itself in a way that it talks to you. It becomes more personalized for you, to you, basis your past question. So it has some context.
Does it take any bias into it? For example, I'm a practicing Hindu, but say a problem that I'm asking for, there is a very direct answer for it from the Quran. Will it pick up from the Quran and give me that direct answer, or will it, like you said, basis the kind
It'll
of...
also tell you what Hinduism says.
Okay.
And it'll also tell you what the Quran says. And then if you dig deeper into asking what the Quran says, it'll further give you more from it next time also when you ask a question. You know, and if we take a step back on, you know, what's the why for this? See, in the world today, the world is divided on the basis of differences.
Correct.
We rarely look at similarities. And we don't have a super intelligence that can actually look at the similarities from a scriptural perspective on single questions. So the moment people start seeing, hey, actually there's so many similarities between us rather than the differences between us, because we look that guy is green and that guy is orange, but we don't really see, hey, actually the core of the practices are effectively the same. We know that is where it is. So this is a super intelligence that is able to stitch everything together, and it's a first experiment in this direction, and I'm dead sure we will see more of this.
That's a very, I didn't think of it from that point of view, the similarity point of view
That's
at
why
all.
it's called Religion 1.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And it's so, like, why is it called religion and not Religion 1? Like, what I mean?
Now this is how you're going to make it a trigger word. But yeah, that's damn cool that y'all are trying to bridge the differences between religion instead of, I thought of it as,
And show the similarities.
yeah, like it's,
See, the moment I start seeing you as not separate from me, but hey, we are the same in many things, then you start like really, understanding and respecting.
I don't think there are some political parties that'll be happy with this. I think y'all are creating some sensation.
We are moving to, we are probably, I think, this thought, it's not like we are the first people who have this thought. I think we are the first people who utilize the power of this super intelligence in the form of AI to be able to use it this way. It's always been a thought, there's great leaders, practitioners.
Really, there's other stuff like this out there?
I mean, if you see, YSS,
Yeah.
Paramans Yogananji's, the institution that he's built was built from the point of view of combining Christianity and Hinduism, and they worship both Krishna and they worship Jesus Christ. So there is, these fusions of sorts. We are not the first person who's thinking about that, is all I'm trying to say. But because there's so much depth in so many scriptures, in so many realms of the world, it's impossible, because, if you look at Daniel Kahneman's Thinking Fast and Slow, our human mind can think in 3 dimensions, and think of the number of dimensions that multiple scriptures with multiple chapters over multiple centuries have. Now you have the ability to put it together, and that is what religion. So interesting, like, this, when you ask a question, who is the leader of this religion? Mathematics. That is.
You don't think it needs a face?
I mean, actually, if you think about it, all the faces of all the religions are the face. Because the idea is, can I derive a little bit from here, and can I derive a little bit from here? And I mean, just think about our movies right now, right? Like you are seeing Marvel creating multiverses. Yeah. So you're talking about like 16 Spider-Men from different realms. You are talking about the, the Avengers assembling together. So you are seeing a world where we are now okay to and used to taking multiple sides. So we are okay to do that. You are seeing a world where I could support one player in an IPL team, but when he's
in his national side, you don't. Yeah.
I don't. So like, there's these dualities or multi-alities, if that's the right word, is a thing.
And if you see history of humanity, we were like a tribe with one leader, then we had a lot of tribe with one king, then kings of king, then government. So we are, as a human, we are moving towards decentralization, like more and more decentralization, right? So this, I feel it needs more trust rather than a face, because face comes with some weight.
And how do you, because that's just I think the mission by the two of you all clearly, and Ranveer, that you all are not going to allow any bias to come into it, because over a period of time you're going to let it run purely on the inputs it's getting, like any other AI tool, and evolve over that. There's not going to be at any point of time control or censorship.
No, not at all. And I'm very interested to see, our friends who are going left, right, and center not unnecessarily, but going left, right, and center, troubling Ranveer.
Poor guy, dude. He gets.
I mean, yeah, like, that's also, I have a point of view on that, because see, he's a podcaster,
But he had that lady right after. So, I'm a fan of the podcast. And yeah, even though I'm not going to talk about political opinion, but after he had those whole cabinet ministers on board, right after that, he had this lady, this very senior journalist who came and just tore the Indian government a new a-hole, man. So how is he being like favoritist. Like he gets people who shit on Modi also all the time, and if he gets people who like his own cabinet ministers are obviously going to say nice things. No,
and also see, the thing is, the podcast format is not a journalistic grilling tough questions format. So I think the people raising these questions need to understand what the format is. So you want to question the government for calling a podcaster? Sure, be my guest. You can do that. Yeah, and yes, this government has faced some challenging times where they have not really been open. So they've engineered platforms, but don't blame
the messenger. Yeah,
because the messenger is doing his job, which is what his job is, and he's going to jump on the opportunity to show a facet of a minister to the Indian public that they haven't seen.
Yeah, I mean that's his job as an interviewer in some senses to bring.
But yeah, I think, I mean, with Ranveer also, we've been discussing this, and it's going to be in the news in a few days, where this world's first AI religion, stitched together with, the scriptural depth of 5,000 religions put together to help you solve problems is a good starting point. I don't think we are not saying that this is this is the thing.
Not the finished product stage yet.
It's a very interesting experiment. It's like this AI lab in this dimension, and there's multiple AI labs going on in many dimensions. This is what we've built. Of course, our core is our app, which coincidentally we are looking for. And if you're listening to this podcast, we are looking at people who are driving meditative practices and sleep-based practices from across religions. We are looking for them. So if you happen to know somebody who can, work with us on the app on this, please be our guest. But it's opening up a fascinating direction even for the app, because even the app is ultimately going in that direction, where across scriptural practices and across cultural practices, how can we draw on everything to deliver to the consumer seamlessly with a great experience?
And is the product exclusive of the app? Is the religion exclusive to the app, or is it like other two? Can I use one without the other?
No, they're interesting. They are different. Religion.ai is powered by team Level Supermind, and they've done an amazing job building this. Our team has done. I mean, the team's done an amazing job building this, and you can ask it 15 questions on the web version, but if you want to ask it unlimited questions, it's on the app.
Your question, will it be free from biases? At its core, it has all these religion text, right? Any religion will have bias. So you need to first accept that. Right. Humanity is subjectivity. Matlab. So the bias is there everywhere. At its core, this is the most trained book on religion we can find, a trained guide we can find anywhere, is how we should see it.
Got it. And okay, one little different question in terms of faith, right? Like religion today is based on faith, right? People, like, it's not logical. You pray for things that like are out of the realm of your human capability, which is why you bend your hands and you pray. You think that element, how do you think that element will come into this? Like, because what am I putting my faith in? This is just like is this like that answer to everything that I want whenever I want it from a pious lens, let's call it? Is that why I, as a human being today, why will I stop going to Siddhivinayak temple? I'm not saying that y'all are saying that we should stop going to Siddhivinayak temple, but eventually in its truest form, religion, once it becomes used, accepted, you're promoting that I don't need to go anywhere else, right? Like God is within.
Any spiritual path is a path of self-awareness. So it's a path. I mean, yes, of course, you start with, hey, give me this. But as you spend more and more time with yourself and you spend more and more time in silence, a spiritual path is a path where you uncover aspects of yourself and you uncover aspects of life, and you join the dots between those aspects of yourself and those aspects of life to be able to deliver the best of yourself to life. That is fundamentally what it is. So if I could understand more about my life through all the religions in the world, and if I could understand aspects of myself, or see mirrors for me to understand different aspects of myself from all religions in the world, what more can I ask for?
To your question that we want it to become the one, no, we don't want it to become the one. people should have choice. This is one of the choice, right? And whatever serves you, say, whatever makes you happy, do that. So yeah.
Yeah, and also fundamentally, it's like our belief, right? Like where we, even with respect to different meditative practices, what do? We call ourselves to the gatekeepers to get more people on the path. So you start the process of self-improvement, start the process of self-awareness. On the app, you will see things from a Tibetan Buddhist Rinpoche from Ladakh. You will see it from, an MD from the largest business bank in the UK chanting a Om Mantra series. And you will see something around Rumi. And you will see various aspects. You will see something around Christ, and you will see various aspects. And then if you want to go deeper, you can choose to go deeper. We are not here to compete with the religions of the world, or we're not here to compete with the spiritual schools of the world. We are here to dent more people into the process of self-awareness and self-improvement, because we know that ultimately that improves mind performance. What we are is a mind performance app. That's what we are. We are not, we're not anything else. And these are all other aspects which are our humble attempts at saying, look, here's shift in the thinking of the world, or dent in the thinking of the world. That's why we exist.
This is going to dent in the world for sure when you say AI religion. Like, I'm just trying to think, like, today, okay, I'm just first questions, like, legality wise. Like, I mean, I know it's the holy script, so, but is it okay for, like, this to be taking place? Are y'all not worried that tomorrow some religious leaders are going to come after y'all saying, how can you quote me on, or how can, how can, like, today, I'm not saying I hope it doesn't happen, I really do, but we have a very polarized society.
Look forward to go to court.
And I don't understand why quoting two religion side by side will create any
What you are
legal issue.
saying is absolutely correct when you say it like this logically,
Which
without
is why we look forward to going to court.
Because freedom is there. I'm not disrespecting anyone in any form. We didn't mention ki we are better or we are not better. We are just there like a rock.
Let me ask you against potential naysayers ka question. This is a little technical piece of it. Today, AI works on the fact that it's scraping data from the internet in the most live or most relevant sources for you, and then projects that information in neat format. By virtue of the fact that, okay, I don't know about 5,000 religions. Up until right now, I thought there were like 13, 15 religions, but most of them are one book, versus in the scenario of, say, Hinduism, there are many scriptures. So just by virtue of indexing and volume of content, won't Hinduism rank or show up more? I can't believe I'm making this argument, but won't Hinduism show up more because of just sheer volume of content in this AI search?
So how we have trained it effectively? We first shortlisted. See, the details lies, like
Right.
the explanation lies in the details. So we first made a list of all the religions, right? Then we shortlisted per religion how many books to keep.
Okay.
So we tried to keep it as balanced as possible.
Okay.
And then we trained it on all that books. So your argument on will it be over-indexing on Hinduism, we have taken care from a structural point of view. However, from a fundamental point of view, most points in religion are same.
Yeah.
So
okay, overlap is very high.
very high. So the difference lies in like 10%, 2%, whether there's God, whether there's afterlife, small details, which I feel day-to-day human being is not a real problem. There's a lot of suffering already. And in that state of suffering, they don't ask, is Atma real?
Sure.
So
You're also
net-net-
giving options, right? Because sometimes maybe one religion's teaching might seem very harsh, and another one might have a slightly more progressive viewpoint on it. So, I mean,
I wouldn't say progressive, just more suited to you.
Sure, yeah, okay, fair.
Like, that's the way I think I would see it. And I asked religion.ai, like, what is the purpose of life? So it says in the Bhagavad Gita, the purpose of life is to fulfill your duties with a sense of duty and detachment, emphasizing the importance of selfless action and devotion to God. So that's the Vedic perspective. In Islam, the purpose of life is to submit to Allah, again, devotion to God. So again, the similarities, and live in accordance with His guidance and seek closeness to Him. Muslims believe that life is a test and the choices and actions made in this world will determine the eternal destiny in the hereafter. And in Christianity, the purpose of life is to love and serve God. Again, all three are talking about devotion and to love and serve others. So, again, this love and serve others, life is a test, is what Islam is talking about. And it's all about, the every action, every choice that you're faced with, you can do one or two. It's about, red pill, blue pill, what are you going to have, right? And in Christianity, it emphasizes the importance of faith, repentance, and following the teachings of Jesus Christ. And life is a preparation for the eternal life in the presence of God. So there is these elements of similarity that we start seeing. And then you're right, then you dig more, and you figure it out.
But I think that main thing that you said is the main, I think my opinion of what the main outcome of this is going to be tolerance to other religions, because when you see if you ask it whatever questions expecting an answer and you see whatever religion you follow as explanation, and then you see the other religions that you do not follow, and in India we're taught to essentially divide against. When you see that similarity, maybe this will be a good way to break that barrier.
Not just in India,
Yeah, anywhere in the world. Sorry, I'm saying I know more about India. To be fair, you're right. There's a lot of divide even in Catholicism amongst the three streams of thought.
Yeah.
Mad.
It's a good start. So we thought we'll keep this one short. But what do you think? What was your first impressions once you were on it?
First impression that I got when I was on it was, I'll tell you, I'm a chaos monger, so I went to ask questions where there'd be contradictions in religion.
Yeah, we're hoping there's a lot like you, and then it did it.
It did. It gave me a similar answer. Right? Like I assumed, I like to believe I know about religion because I bothered to sort of educate myself that the afterlife in all three religions is different. In my opinion, originally was about how there's moksha for Hinduism, where you say there's reincarnation until you reach that point. In Christianity, there's your judgment and then go to heaven or hell, and similarly for Islam. But it also explained a similar trajectory, right? That Hinduism also talks about your karma that takes you to the point or the level of your reincarnation or your attainment of moksha. Similarly, even in Islam, what it spoke about, which was interesting, is that, like you said, those choices that you're making, and then when you make those choices, you're rewarded or at the end of it. So it's again talking about karma in a roundabout sense of a way, or talking about it in the Islamic context, however it is. And similarly for Christianity, they say that if you follow Jesus Christ's teachings and the 10 commandments or whatever school of thought you come from, only then will you be allowed to go to heaven. Otherwise, your soul will sort of get damned to hell, to put it like the way the colloquial term is. But I was under the impression that, these guys believe in something else, I believe in something else, the third guy believes in something else. No, everyone's sort of chasing the same goal. We're calling it different things, we're dressing different
Words,
concepts. Yeah. And I mean I think that's what my big takeaway from it is. The rigidity with which maybe I can speak personally for myself only, that I viewed maybe my religion versus other people's religion in a couple of simple questions gave me that, okay, we're not.
Yeah, even if it does that, that's what we are looking to move the needle on. Just that. And
this INDIA alliance is going to reach out to you guys, I think, soon. Because they're trying to do the same. Or they claim.
Let's see.
But very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Cool. So check it out and go to www.religion.ai and send us your feedback. If you're listening to this and you haven't downloaded the app and you finished answering the questions, please download the app. It'll give you a lot of insight into practices that are being spoken about on religion.ai. So the world's first AI religion and the most secular AI in the world is what we built. And thanks, Neil.
Thank you. I'm glad I got to be one of the first people to discuss and find this religion. Religion.
Religion.